101 American English Idioms. Understanding and speaking English like an American.
Section 9. You don't say. Money talks.
Money can influence people.
We've been waiting for 3 months to get delivery on our car, and people who put in their order after us have already gotten theirs.
Well, money talks. Why don't you try giving the dealer a little something extra to move things along?
I know full well that money has the power to influence people, but I refuse to pay extra for a service that is owed to me as a client.
If you want to have your car, maybe you'd better reconsider.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
Do not agitate a potential source of trouble.
You'd better not say anything to the owner of the building about painting your apartment. If I were you, I'd let sleeping dogs lie. The last time you asked him to do some repairs, he raised your rent.
You're telling me not to make trouble if I don't have to. But I'm going to risk making him angry, since I can no longer stand to look at the paint peeling off the walls.
Shape up or ship out.
Behave properly or leave. Al had been constantly reprimanded for being negligent on the job. Finally, in desperation, his supervisor exclaimed, "Shape up or ship out." Al admitted that he had not been taking his work seriously and realized that he should be more conscientious about his job or he would be discharged.
If the shoe fits, wear it.
Admit the truth.
Joe feels rather badly because he's always being criticized for his sloppy personal appearance.
With reason. If the shoe fits, wear it, I always say.
Still, I can't help feeling sorry for the guy. I know that what people say about him is true, and that he should admit it. He doesn't seem to want to improve his appearance. Evidently, he himself can't see anything wrong with the way he looks. Different strokes for different folks.
Everyone has different interests and tastes.
It's hard to understand how Millie and Ron ever got together. She has always gone in for sailing, and he can't stand to be on water. He enjoys the opera, and she likes jazz.
You know what they say, different strokes for different folks.
You don't have to tell me that everyone has different interests and tastes. I still can't figure out what attracted them to each other in the first place.
Haven't you heard that opposites attract?
Bark worse than one's bite.
Not as bad-tempered as one appears. On occasion, Mr. Hopkins speaks harshly to his students, especially when they fail to complete their homework assignment. Nevertheless, they all know that his bark is worse than his bite. He threatens to keep them after school and to inform their parents, but he's not really as bad-tempered as he appears.
Eyes are bigger than one's stomach.
Take more food than one can eat. Chris, why don't you finish eating that third helping of dessert?
I guess my eyes were bigger than my stomach when I said I wanted more.
I'm not surprised. The same thing happens to me. Sometimes when I'm really hungry, I'll take more food than I can possibly eat.
Put one's money where one's mouth is.
Follow through with a stated intention.
You've been promising to take us to Disneyland for the past 2 years. Since the kids are free, how about putting your money where your mouth is?
You don't have to remind me. I have every intention of doing exactly what I said I'd do. But you yourself know that in the past we've been unable to go because of other financial obligations. Things have eased up, and it looks like we'll be able to go this year.
The early bird catches the worm.
Arriving early gives one an advantage. Mark, the lines for the rock festival are going to be miles long. If you expect to get tickets for you and Marika, remember that old saying, the early bird catches the worm?
I guess you're right. Marika is looking forward to the concert, and I'd hate to disappoint her. I'll get up real early to get a place at the head of the line. That way I'll get the tickets I want, for sure.
People who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
One should not criticize when one is equally at fault. Janet has often criticized her friend Lois for driving too fast, yet she herself has had her license suspended for exceeding the speed limit. Lois once tried to tell her that people who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, but it didn't do much good. Janet simply didn't accept the fact that she should not pass judgment on other people when she is just as bad as they are.
All's well that ends well.
A successful outcome is worth the effort.
Hi, Benito. How are things going?
Well, everything's okay now. Remember that teaching job for which I applied?
Yes, I sure do.
Well, I was finally hired, but I had a bit of a rough time before I got it. Between all that paperwork and all those interviews, I'm all worn out. Thank goodness it's all over.
Great. All's well that ends well. After all that you went through, I'm happy to hear that things finally turned out satisfactorily for you.
Yes, I'm happy too. It was really worth the effort.